Number 10. The unseen companion. Some astronauts never do a second spacewalk. Multiple astronauts from both the Apollo missions and the International Space Station have reported something strange during their spacewalks. They call it the presence. It starts with a feeling of being watched, like when you're home alone but suddenly feel eyes on you. But in space, there's nowhere to hide. Nothing but endless darkness all around you. These astronauts reported seeing something in their peripheral vision, a shape. When they turn to look directly at it, there's nothing there. NASA has a declassified document that catalogs these events. They tried to explain it away as space adaptation syndrome or stress, but these astronauts are describing the exact same thing. Some astronauts only experienced it once. Others reported feeling the presence during every spacewalk. Their official explanation is nothing unusual, just the human mind playing tricks in an unfamiliar environment. But if that's true, why did they classify these reports for over 30 years? And why do new astronauts still report the same thing today? Number 9. The station's unseen crewmate. Imagine you're living in an apartment, and every time you change your air filter, you find someone else's hair, but you live alone. That's basically what's happening on the International Space Station right now. NASA keeps finding genetic material in their air filters that shouldn't be there. And I don't mean like finding your roommate's DNA. This stuff doesn't match anything we know about. It's completely new to science. This mystery DNA isn't just hanging around, it's making copies of itself. It's like having an invisible roommate who keeps inviting their friends over. The astronauts have checked everything, their own DNA, every piece of equipment, even the spacesuits. Nothing matches. NASA's been keeping this quiet. Imagine telling the world there might be unknown life forms breeding in their $150 billion space station. They found more of it every time they check. It's like whatever this is, it's getting comfortable up there. So next time you hear about the ISS being a controlled environment, just remember something up there is definitely out of control. Number 8. The exoplanet that's too alive. K218b, the planet that just won't die. The star it orbits is constantly blasting K218b with enough radiation to strip away its atmosphere, but this planet just shrugs it off like it's no big deal. Scientists expected to find a dead, barren world. Instead, they found a planet with an atmosphere thicker than Earth's. It's like showing up to somebody's funeral and finding them doing CrossFit. The Webb telescope data shows this planet is actively regenerating its atmosphere faster than it's being destroyed, and nobody knows how. The atmosphere contains something called dimethyl sulfide. On Earth, this chemical is only produced by living things. So either we've discovered some wild new chemistry, or this planet might be literally alive. NASA's trying to be all professional about this, but you can tell they're freaking out. Because if this planet is alive, it means we need to completely rethink what life can be. Number 7. The zero-G brain drain. NASA recently discovered something terrifying about long-term space travel. Turns out floating around in zero gravity literally drains your brain. Scientists found that when there's no gravity pulling down on your body, your brain starts floating up inside your skull. This causes pressure that squishes and reshapes parts of your brain. These changes don't just go away when you come back to Earth. Some astronauts who spent months in space are showing signs of cognitive decline, memory problems, difficulty focusing, and slower reaction times. After just 6 months in space, some areas of astronauts' brains had shrunk by up to 3%. The longer they stay up there, the worse it gets. This is a huge problem for NASA's plans to send humans to Mars. That trip would take approximately 3 years round trip. That's 6 times longer than the missions that already caused damage. Number 6. Extinction level near misses. NASA doesn't want you thinking about these asteroids. Giant space rocks nearly wiping out Earth isn't just Hollywood drama. NASA officially tells us they track about 31,000 near-Earth asteroids. Sounds pretty thorough, but a shocking number of massive asteroids have zipped past Earth with zero warning. Rocks big enough to end civilization, passing closer than our own moon, and we only spotted them after they'd gone by. While you were sleeping, eating dinner, or watching Netflix, a cosmic bullet might have missed us by cosmic inches. In 2019, an asteroid called 2019 OK came out of nowhere and passed just 45,000 miles from Earth. That's 1/5 the distance to the moon. This thing was about 130 meters wide, big enough to wipe out a major city, and we only saw it coming 24 hours before it passed by. For every one of these we detect, estimates suggest dozens more slip by completely unnoticed. NASA's official stance is, we're getting better at detection. It's like playing cosmic Russian roulette, except we don't even know how many chambers the gun has. Number 5. Space is rewriting human DNA. Imagine checking your DNA after a space mission and finding out you're not exactly you anymore. That's exactly what NASA discovered with their astronaut twin study. They took 2 identical twin astronauts, Scott and Mark Kelly. Scott spent a year in space while Mark stayed on Earth. When Scott came back, his DNA had changed so much that he wasn't technically an identical twin anymore. You might think it went back to normal. Wrong. A significant part of the changes to his gene activity never switched back to their pre-flight state. That means space literally rewrote part of who he is at a fundamental level. Scientists found that telomeres, the protective caps on our DNA, were getting longer in space. That's not supposed to happen. It's like his body was trying to age backwards and forwards at the same time. Every astronaut who goes to space comes back slightly different, not just mentally, but at a genetic level. So next time you dream about becoming an astronaut, remember you might literally become a different person. And the scariest part is NASA has no idea if these changes can be passed down to future generations. For all we know, we might be creating a new branch of of human evolution, one space mission at a time. Number 4. The Cosmic Ray Brain Scramble. Sometimes you forget why you walked into a room, or you can't remember your phone number. NASA scientists think they know why. Cosmic rays, supercharged particles zooming through space at nearly the speed of light. They're passing through your body right now. Think of your brain like a computer made of meat. Cosmic rays mess with electronics and flip bits in computers. They might be doing the same thing to your neurons. It's like millions of tiny particles passing through your skull, occasionally flipping random switches in your brain. NASA found that astronauts in space experience these brain flips more often because there's less atmosphere to protect them. They report seeing random flashes of light when their eyes are closed. That's cosmic rays zapping their visual cortex. About 100,000 high-energy particles pass through your body every hour. That's like a microscopic shooting gallery happening inside your head all the time. Scientists have caught these particles messing with electronics on Earth. Smartphones randomly reboot or glitch out because of them. These particles might be affecting your memories, your thoughts, even your personality. Every time you have a random thought or forget something obvious, it might not be just you being forgetful. It could be a cosmic ray that scrambled that brain circuit. Worst of all, there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. These particles are so powerful they can pass through miles of solid lead. Your skull might as well be tissue paper to them. Number 3. The Moondust razor blades. Sand at the beach is all smooth and rounded. Moondust is nothing like that. Imagine taking a bunch of microscopic razor blades, dipping them in static electricity, and then throwing them into the air. That's basically what moondust is. On Earth, our rocks get worn down by wind and water. They become smooth, like those nice pebbles you find in rivers. But on the moon, there's no atmosphere, no water, nothing to smooth things out. When meteorites hit the moon's surface, they create these tiny, jagged shards of rock. These particles are so sharp, they can slice through just about anything. During the Apollo missions, they actually cut through the astronauts' boots like tiny knives. These particles are so small they can float into your lungs, and since they're basically tiny pieces of glass, they could tear up your insides like a blender full of broken bottles. These particles are electrostatically charged. That means they stick to everything like angry glitter. Regular glitter somehow shows up months after you used it. This is like that, except it can kill you. The astronauts who came back from the moon said the dust smelled like spent gunpowder. They were breathing in something that smells like you just fired a gun, except it's made of microscopic knives. NASA's currently trying to figure out how to deal with this for future moon missions. Number 2. The object in an impossible orbit. So NASA found something that's breaking all the rules of our solar system. Every planet, asteroid, and chunk of space rock we know orbits the sun in roughly the same direction and on roughly the same plane. They're all like cars driving on the same highway, going the same way. But then scientists spotted something weird, an object that's basically driving backwards on that cosmic highway. And not just backwards, but almost straight up and down compared to everything else. This object, called Niku, which means rebellious in Chinese, is about 6 miles wide, and it's doing something that should be impossible. For an object to end up in this kind of orbit naturally, it would be like flipping a coin and having it land on its edge a million times in a row. The odds are so astronomically low that some scientists are wondering if something or someone put it there. And it gets weirder. This object isn't alone. Scientists have found a whole group of objects sharing this same bizarre orbit. It's like finding a whole fleet of cars driving backwards and vertically on our cosmic highway. Some astronomers think this might be evidence of Planet X's gravity messing with these objects. Others are keeping an open mind about artificial origins. Either way, NASA is pretty interested in figuring out how these objects got there, because right now, it defies everything we know about how our solar system works. Number 1. Mars's subsurface veins. Imagine finding out your quiet neighbor has a massive network of secret tunnels underneath their house. That's basically what just happened with Mars. NASA's ground-penetrating radar found something wild. The entire planet is covered in what looks like veins. These aren't just random caves or lava tubes. We're talking about an organized network of hollow tunnels that branch out like in an underground subway system. These tunnels don't match any geological formation we know of. It's like finding a perfectly square rock in nature. The tunnels form patterns that look like a city's power grid, except this is an entire planet. These veins seem engineered. The tunnels are deep enough to shield whatever's inside from Mars's harsh radiation. The craziest part is these tunnels might be our best shot at colonizing Mars. Ready-made radiation shelters. Don't think too hard about what might have made them in the first place, or why they're still hollow after all this time.